Good morning to everybody. Today we are going to study plus one accountancy portion. Plus one accountancy portion, preparation of journal entries. Dear students, this accountancy subject is a new subject for you. But this is very easy subject. If you study systematically, it is very easy. If you know the accounting principles, we can easily follow this portion. Compare with other subject, this question is very easy if you are thorough about the basic principles. So, the first basics of accountancy is preparation of journal entries. Actually, we are having no knowledge about preparation of account. So, first procedure in the accountancy class is preparation of journal. Before that, we have some idea about what is the meaning of bookkeeping, what is the meaning of accounting, what are the different types of account, then what are the different types of account. Then some basic words relating to accountancy. These are all very important portion, but we have lack of knowledge about it. We study one by one. Dear students, accountancy is a new subject for you, so try to study today onwards. Then, what is the meaning of accountancy? First we study what is the meaning of accountancy. In our textbook, there are different meanings are given. Financial accounting, cost accounting, likewise there are management accountings. There are different types of accounting. You will refer the textbook and study that. Then for the purpose of studying the fundamental thing, accountancy means study of accounts. Accountancy means study of accounts. It is a simple meaning of accountancy. What is the meaning of accountancy? The simple meaning of accountancy is study of accounts. Then, accountancy means study of accounts. That is the first point I want to emphasize. Then, we just study the background history of accountancy. In the year 1494, one Italian merchant Luca Pacioli developed the accountancy. That he developed one system. That system is called as double entry system of bookkeeping. Once again explain what I told. The fundamental of accountancy is preparation of journal entries. When we prepare the journal entries, we know some accounting rules, accounting regulations, rules and regulations we must study. So, I want to explain what is the meaning of accountancy. The simple meaning of accountancy means study of accounts. The brief history of account. In the year 1494, one Italian merchant called Luca Pacioli introduced one system of writing the accounts. That system is called as double entry system of bookkeeping. When we maintain the account, we must know certain principles, some practices, some rules of accounting is necessary. So, when we prepare the journal entries, we must have to follow certain principles, some practices, some rules of accounting. Dear students, already I told you it is a new subject for you. So, we study the principles, practices, rules and regulations one by one. Once again, I explain what I told. The initial stage in the accountancy class is preparation of journal entries. How do we prepare the journal entries? But we have no idea about journal, we have no idea about account, we have no idea about accountancy at all. So we study everything one by one. So the basic thing is, what is the meaning of accountancy? The simple meaning of accountancy is study of accounts. In the year 1494, Italian merchant Luca Pacioli introduced one new system. He developed one existing system. That system is called as double entry system of bookkeeping. When we prepare the journal, certain rules, certain regulations, some principles, some practices of accounting is compulsory, is necessary. Without knowing the principle, without knowing the practices, without knowing the rules, we are not maintaining the accounts. So we have to study one by one. This is a news class for you, so we have to study from the fundamental. Then next point, what is journal? Then preparation of journal entries. Next procedure is preparation of journal. What is journal? What is journal? What is journal? Before that, when we prepare the journal entries, you have to use the accountancy notebook. One account book, you will try to buy one account notebook and write all the information one by one. Everything is given in the Tamil Nadu Textbook Society textbook. Tamil Nadu Textbook Society's Accountancy Plus One Accountancy book. These things are given. It is simply given. Simple explanations are given. So you follow it. Please listen the class. What is journal? The term journal is derived from French word Jan, J-O-U-R, Jan. What is the meaning of Jan? Jan means day. The word journal is derived from French word Jan, which means day. So the journal means daily. Journal means daily. The day-to-day transactions are recorded daily in accounting language is called as journal. What is journal? If this question is asked for 2 more questions, you would try to write these words. The term journal is derived from French word Jan. The word Jan means day. We can tell in this way, journal means daily. The day-to-day transaction, day-to-day transactions are recorded daily in accounting language. Is called journal. Once again I explain this question. You see, once again I tell the same thing again and again. You are the new students in accountancy. You never heard the word account also. You have no knowledge about journal. These are all the basic fundamental words we have to study. What is the meaning of journal? The word journal is derived from French word jour, which means day. It can be tell us daily. The day-to-day transactions are recorded daily in the accounting language is called as journal. Then journal is the book of original entry. Journal is the book of original entry, or journal is the prime entry. Journal is the prime entry. Then journal is the primary entry. Journal is the primary entry. Then journal is a preliminary entry. It is a preliminary entry. Journal is the preliminary entry, and it is also a first entry. So once again, journal is derived from French word jour, which means day. Day means daily. Day-to-day transactions are recorded daily in accounting language is called as journal. The journal is called as the book of original entry. It is a prime entry. It is a primary entry. It is a preliminary entry. It is a first entry. Preparation of journal is the first step. It is a first step for maintaining the books of account. When we maintain any account, preparation of journal is the first step. Preparation of journal is the first step for maintaining the account. Once again, I explain, I tell the same thing again and again. You will study these things thoroughly. Try to mark it in your textbook or write in accountancy notebook and study. What is journal? The word journal is derived from the French word jan, which means day. It can be told as daily. Day-to-day transactions are recorded daily in the accounting language is called as journal. Journal is the book of original entry. Journal is a prime entry. Journal is a primary entry. Journal is a preliminary entry. Journal is the first entry. The first step for the preparation of account is the preparation of journal. Dear students, I want to explain what is the procedure for preparing the journal. Before studying journal, already I told, before studying the journal, we must have some ideas about different types of account and different and the basic terms in accounting. Dear students, once again, journal is the first step in accounting. You are a fresh students for studying accountancy. So before studying the journal, we must have some idea about different types of account and basic terms of account. Then here we just study what are the different types of account. What are the different types of accounts? Accounts are classified into three types. In our book, there are many types are given for the purpose of studying the fundamental studies in accountancy. We have studied in this way. There are three types of account. Number one, personal account. A or C is an abbreviation for account. Personal account. Number two, real account. And number three, nominal account. Nominal account. So the accounts are classified into three. What are they? Personal account, real account, and nominal account. What is the meaning of personal account? Personal account means an account which indicates the person. The account explains about if the account starts with the name of the person is called as a personal account. Any account which starts with the name of the person, it is called as a personal account. Example, Rama account, Sita account, CSI matriculation school account, Tamil Nadu government account, comes under the category of personal account. These two, Rama account and Sita accounts, are the natural persons. CSI matriculation school, Tamil Nadu government accounts are artificial person. We will study what is the meaning of artificial person. We will study in the later classes. If any account starts with the name of the person or any institution, it is called as a personal account. Once again, I explain what the accounts are classified into three. Number one, personal account. Number two, real account. Number three, nominal account. What is the meaning of personal account? Any account which indicates about the person, or any account which starts about the name of the human beings or any institution, it is called as a personal account. Then, what is the meaning of real account? Real account means any account which explains about the assets or properties. The account which explains about as account which indicates about the assets or properties of a business concern of the proprietor, it is called as a real account. What are the assets? Number one, example, cash. Cash account is the asset. Cash is an asset. If you are having cash, it means it is an asset. Then machinery account. Then furniture account. Then jewels account. Computer account. These are all comes under the category of real account. Once again, I explain personal account. Any account which explains about the person, it is called as a personal account. If the account starts with the name of the person or the name of the institutions are considered as the personal account. Then real account, the account which explains about the assets or properties of a business or the proprietor is called as a real account. Example, cash account, machinery account, furniture account, jewels account, computer account, car account. We can tell a lot of examples. Then, what is the meaning of nominal account? Nominal account explains about the income or expenses. The account which explains about the income or expenses is called as a nominal account. The income or expenses are valued in the form of cash. Normally, we are valuing the income or expenditure are valued in the form of cash. So, nominal account is an account which explains about the income or expenses. Example, rent account. Then salaries account, commission account, interest account. These are all the examples of a nominal account. Then let us assume rent. It is an income to the person who receives it. It is expenditure to the person who gives it. Like a salary. Salary is an income for the staff, but the expenditure for the management. Commission is an income for the person who receives it. Commission is an expenditure for those who gives. Then interest. If you borrow money, if you obtain any loan, we pay interest, it is an expenditure. Likewise, if you lend any loan, we get interest, so it is an income. So, the same things are income or expenditure. Our duty is to identify whether it is an income or expenditure. Dear students, accounts are classified into three: personal account, real account, nominal account. In entire accountancy class, we will repeat the personal account, real account, nominal account. These things will come again and again. So now in this class, you just identify what is the meaning of personal account, what is the meaning of real account, what is the meaning of nominal account. And account indicates about the person. The account indicates about the assets. The account indicates about income or expenditure is the meaning of the above mentioned account. Examples: Rama account, Sita account, CSI matriculation school account, Tamil Nadu government account, Indian parliament account. These are all comes under the personal account. Real account explains about the assets or properties: cash account, machinery, furniture, jewels, computer, car. We can tell anything. We can tell a lot of examples about the assets. Then nominal account, it explains about the income or expenditure. It is an income for one person who receives it. It is an expenditure for one who gives it. Normally, the income or expenditure are valued in the form of cash. These are the three types of accounts. Once again, I repeat what I told. As an initial stage, we study about account. What is the meaning of account? Account means a study of accounts. Accountancy means a study of account. In the year 1494, Luca Pacioli, an Italian merchant, introduced and developed one system of accounting. That system is called as a double entry system of bookkeeping. When we maintain the account, we have to follow certain rules and regulations. In personal account is having separate rule. Real account is having separate rule. Nominal account is also having separate rule. There are certain rules, certain principles and practices are followed. So we have to study all the principles one by one. Then the initial stage of accounting is preparation of journal. What is the meaning of journal? The term journal is derived from the French word jan, J-O-U-R, jan, which means day, daily. Day-to-day transactions are recorded in the accounting language is called as journal. Journal is the first step for the preparation of account. Then, when we prepare the journal, we have to know about the rules of the different types of account. There are three types of account: personal account, real account, nominal account. Personal account explains about the person. Real account explains about asset. Nominal account explains about income or expenditure. Then the examples: Rama account, Sita account are the examples of personal account. Cash account, machinery account is an example for the real account. Rent account, salaries account are the example of nominal account. Okay. Then next, our duty is to study about what are the rules of these three types of account. Then before that, we have to study one more term. What is the meaning of double entry system? Already I used the word double entry. Before studying the rules of accounting, we have to study about what is the meaning of double entry system. For example, when we take a coin, one coin contains two sides. One is head and another side is tail. This is one example for the purpose of studying the double entry system. When we take one coin, the coin consists of two sides. One side is called as a head side, another side is called as a tail side. Likewise, we are having two hands. This hand is called as a right hand, this side is called as a left hand. So we can tell as right and one right hand and left hand. So right side, left side. Right side, when we classify this blackboard into two parts, this side is called as a right side, this side is called as a left side. So head or tail, right and left. But in accounting language, this right, left, these are called as debit side. New term study debit and credit. When one transaction affects two accounts, one debit side and credit side is affected, it is called as a double entry system of bookkeeping. Once again, already I explained in the initial stage, at the first sentence or first paragraph I told, Luca Pacioli introduced the double entry system. The word double entry system I told. The Luca Pacioli in the year 1494, he introduced one system called double entry system. Already I told you. That system is called as a double entry system. What is the double entry system? In every transaction, the accounts are entered in two sides. One debit side and credit side. Hereafter we never use the word head or tail or right or left. In accountancy, always we use the word debit and credit. Right hand, left hand, these are all simply called as debit side and credit side. Double entry system means when the transactions are recorded in debit side and credit side, or any business transaction has debit aspects, we use the word debit aspects and credit aspects, it is called as double entry system. Once again I explain what is the meaning of double entry system. Double entry system means if a transactions are recorded in the debit aspect and credit aspect, it is called as a double entry system. Okay, then these things I will explain in the subsequent classes also. So you do not worry about we are not able to understand. I will explain in the next videos. I will explain the same procedure, the same class. I will explain again and again. So today I go fast. So if you are not able to understand this class, if you follow the subsequent classes, we can easily identify it, because you are initial students. You are at the first step, so we are not able to understand the basic terms also. So you don't worry about it. You continuously follow me. We can easily identify the preparation of journal. If you are preparing the journal, the next ledger and the other things are very easy. If you are thorough in the journal, we can easily maintain the accounts. The next I want to explain about what are the rules of accounting. Already I told there are 3 accounts. Number 1, personal account. The personal account has a separate rule. Then real account has another rule. Real account. Then nominal account. Nominal account is another rule. What is the rule of a personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. You simply memorize it. Then we will use the rules again and again, so we can easily memorize it. So you are not worried about it. Personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. In the real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. In the nominal account, debit all expenses. Debit all expenses or losses. Credit all incomes or gains. These are all the 3 rules in accounting. If you study these rules, we can easily write the journal. So, what are the rules in accounting? Already we studied in accountancy, there are 3 types of account. Number 1, personal account. Number 2, real account. Number 3, nominal account. The rule of the personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. The rule of a real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The rule of a nominal account is debit all expenses or losses, credit all incomes or gain. These are all the rules of accounting. Then we study the another important word that is called as transaction. Then already we studied some basic things. First word we studied what's an account. Then we study about a double entry system. Then debit, credit, personal account, real account, nominal account. Like these new words, new technical words are studying every day. You have to note it in your mind, and if possible, you write it in the accountancy paper, accountancy book, or you mark it in your accountancy textbook and study. So these are the basic things. Without knowing these basic things, we are not able to prepare the journal. Our duty is to prepare the journal. For the purpose of studying the journal, we have to study these things. Then, what is the meaning of transaction? The activities of the business. Transaction means the activities of the business is called transaction. The activities of a business is called transaction. Here, transfer of money or money's worth from one person to another is called as transaction. The activities of the business. Transfer of money or money's worth from one person to another is called as a transaction. Example, paid salaries, paid salaries. It is one of the transaction. Received commission. It is another transaction. Then purchased goods. Purchased goods. It is another transaction. Sold goods. Sold goods. It is another transaction. So, transaction means in the business, when we conduct any business, we have to pay salary, we have to purchase goods, we have to receive commission, we sold the goods, we earned profit. These activities are called as transaction. Transaction. Once again, I explained about the word transaction. The activities of the business, transfer of money or money's worth from one person to another person is called as a transaction. Paid salaries, purchased goods, received commission, sold goods. These are all the examples about transaction. Then, the transactions are classified into two. Number one, cash transaction, and the transaction is classified into two. Number one, cash transaction, and number two, credit transaction. Cash transaction means when the payment or receipt is made immediately. For example, we purchased goods for cash. Immediately we pay the cash. Purchased goods for cash. It is a cash transaction. But purchased goods on credit from Sundar. We purchased some goods from Sundar, but the payment is not paid immediately. But the payment is not made immediately. But we must pay in the later period. If the payment is not paid immediately, it is called as a credit transaction. Once again, I explain about the word transaction. The activities of the business is called as transaction. When we purchase the goods for cash, it is called as a cash transaction. We receive the goods and make the payment. We pay the money and receive the goods. So, it is a cash transaction. But credit transaction means we purchase the goods, but the cash is not paid at once. The payment is made later. So, we are liable to pay the amount to Sundar. So, it is a credit transaction. So, transaction in this stage, transaction, the activities of the business is called as transaction. Transactions are classified into cash transaction and credit transaction. When the cash is paid or received immediately, it is called as a cash transaction. If the payment is made later or if the receipt is made later, it is called as a credit transaction. So, you are thorough about the word transaction. Then, we directly go to journal. So, this is the first class. So, you are not able to understand these portions. So, you study again and again only. You will do in the textbook nearly 20 problems are given. If you do all the problems one by one without referring the previous sums, you thoroughly directly apply the rules and regulations, then only you are thorough about it. When we study one transaction, you are not able to write the remaining portion. So, dear students, try to write all the question which is given in the back side of the textbook. You will write one by one. So, today itself, you buy an accountancy book and write this question. Then, journal. Journal consists of 5 columns. Journal consists of 5 columns. If you use the accountancy book contains these columns. Totally, we have 5 columns. Totally, the journal consists of 5 columns. What are the columns? Here, first column is date column, date. Second column is particulars. Third column is LF. LF means ledger folio. Here, the page number of the ledger account, the page number is in there, but in our accountancy book, we never use this column, but you have to open this column. Then this column is debit column, this column is credit column. Totally 5 columns: date, particulars, ledger folio, debit, credit. These columns are given in your accountancy notebook. You try to buy one accountancy notebook and solve all the question one by one. You never use the guide. If you use the guide, you are not able to study. You simply refer the illustration which is given in the textbook. You are not used any guide. If you use the guide, you are not able to study. You are not able to study the journal. If you are not able to study the journal, the subsequent chapters are not able to study. So never use guide. You never buy any guide. You simply refer the textbook which is given. You simply refer the textbook. The textbook contains many illustration. All the tutorial notes are given in the textbook. So please refer the textbook and develop our knowledge. Then these are the columns. Then now I want to write one transaction. This is a format of a journal. Here I want to write one journal entry. Only one journal entry today. I want to explain only one journal entry and finish this class. Then first transaction on 1/1/2020. Somu, the proprietor, commenced business. Started or commenced business with cash rupees 50,000. What is the meaning of this transaction? It is called as a transaction. What is the meaning of this transaction? On 1/1/2020, Mr. Somu, the proprietor of this business concern, Mr. Somu is the proprietor of this business concern, started on business with a capital of rupees 50,000. So dear student, please listen here. Very, very important area here. In this transaction consists of two accounts. First, we identify what are the two accounts. Number one, Somu account. Number two, cash account. First, our duty is identify. In this question, two accounts are directly given. In some questions, the two accounts are not directly given, but in this question, two accounts are directly given. Somu account and capital account. So two accounts are, number one, Somu account. Somu is a proprietor. So we use the word capital. Somu's capital account and cash account. Here we study what is the meaning of capital. What is the meaning of capital? We study now. Capital. Capital means any amount invested into the business is called as a capital. Once again explain. Any amount invested into the business is called as capital. Here, Mr. Somu is a proprietor of business concern. He started one business with a capital of rupees 50,000. He contributed 50,000 rupees into the business. So, this is the first step to calculate. Capital means the amount invested into the business is called as a capital. Dear students, our main duty is, if in the transaction, we have to identify what are the two accounts. In all the transaction consists of two accounts. Without two accounts, we never use journal. Some questions, the two accounts are directly given, but some transaction, the two accounts are not directly given, indirectly given. We have to find out. But in this question, we can easily find out. Here, two accounts. We are writing the Somu's business account. So, two accounts are Somu's capital account and cash account. Then, second duty, we have to identify whether Somu's account is a personal account, real account or nominal account. Cash account is a real account or personal account or nominal account. Somu, the account starts with the name of the person. So, if the account starts with the name of the person, it is a personal account. Cash is an asset. So, asset is the real account. One transaction. Somu commenced business with the cash rupees 50,000. I am telling the same point again and again. Please listen carefully. Somu, the proprietor, started business with a cash of rupees 50,000. So this transaction consists of two accounts. Number one, Somu's capital account. Number two, cash account. Cash account is the real account. Somu is the person who gives this capital. Then we apply the rule. What is the rule of the real account? The rule of the real account is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The rule of the personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here, Somu is the giver of this cash. He is the giver. This cash comes into the business, comes in. Debit what comes in, credit the giver. That is a rule. First we write the date here. How do you write the date? First you write the year 2020. Then you write month January 1. The date column. First transaction consists of year and date. Then second transaction always you simply write the date alone. But here the first transaction alone, first you write 2020 January 1. First write debit aspect. It starts with this end. Cash account debtor DR. Here we study, we read in this way. Cash account debtor. Then we leave some space and write to Somu's capital account. Here no need to write credit. Cash account debtor to Somu's capital account. First line you write cash account debtor. DR means debtor. Cash account debtor to Somu's capital account. In this column you write the amount. Then we write the narration here. Then here you study what is the meaning of narration. Narration means the brief history of a transaction. The brief history of a transaction is called as a narration. Without narration, the journal is not complete. The brief history of a transaction is called as a narration. So, you study the word capital. Capital means the amount which is invested into the business is called as a capital. Likewise, what is a narration? The brief history, the short history of this transaction is called as a narration. Here, the narration is normally in the bracket. So, started business with the cash and everything is given in the particular column. So, contributed capital, these things are given in the question answer. So, you simply write Somu started business and draw a line only in the particular column alone. At the last transaction, you draw from this end to this end. But each and every transaction, you have to draw a single line in the particular column alone. Remaining question we study in the next class. In the third chapter, I think in the third chapter, nearly 20 questions are given. You study one by one. The next class, I will explain the remaining journal entries. Today is a first class, so I think it is too much. So you study the portion thoroughly and study all the questions to write and study. In accountancy, the basic thing is you write and study. You write in the accountancy book and study. You never use the guide. You refer the illustrations and study. Anyway, God bless you.